Hello, Allison Whipple of 9 Square Press here. I had hoped to record these outside today, but it is raining, so I'm in my house with the inadequate lighting, but there we are. I've sort of fallen off of my recording habit because I've been dealing with other projects, and I wanted to get back on it today, and we're not letting the rain spoil that. So this is the third video in my series on Kigo related to baseball. And today I'm talking about autumn. And once again, I'm going to be reading some excerpts from the old classic Baseball Haiku Anthology. In terms of autumn Kigo, so we can use the World Series. The World Series runs until late October. Last year it actually finished on November 1st. So definitely autumn. It doesn't cross the line into winter, even in the classical tradition, at least not that I've seen in the past few years. I should probably fact check that. But the World Series definitely goes into the end of autumn. Also the postseason. So the World Series is the big finale, but before that we've got the wild card series, we've got the division series, we've got the pennant. So there's a lot of postseason action in autumn that generally happens mid to late September. I think the last games generally wrap up the second or third week of September of the regular season. Then we go into postseason and then the World Series. So those are really the two big ones. You could also say playoff game. And wild card series. So each part of the postseason is an autumn Kigo unto itself. You can also name a specific game, although I will say that really the game that's probably going to have the most resonance as a Kigo is just Game 7. And if you didn't know, the World Series is 7 games. It's a best of 7. It doesn't always go all the way to 7, but when it does, oh my goodness, that is quite a game to watch. It's very, very dramatic. So, there are the other games you can name, but I think the one that has the most recognition in terms of being dramatic, being compelling, is that Game 7. We would know what that refers to without any other context. But a lot of the baseball poems in this anthology, they don't actually invoke those. This anthology is so much of, there are definitely some poems about Major League play in here, but so much of it is really this very intimate experience about individuals' experience with baseball. And so it's a lot more amateur. And so the September poems that I've picked out, generally, they really convey the broader autumn wabi-sabi feeling in a way that perhaps a something like playoff game or World Series wouldn't do as naturally. You absolutely could do it, but it wouldn't come as naturally. You would need to bring in some other things, some other elements, I think. And these are poems that are really using other seasonal terms to emphasize the end of baseball season. So coming back with Ed Markowski again. Ed Markowski just writes fantastic baseball haiku. He has some of the best ones in that anthology. Signs of autumn. His bunt dies at the 5-yard line. Signs of autumn. His bunt dies at the 5-yard line. And another one from Ed Markowski. Just couldn't help myself. I love them so much. Late September. Dry leaves rattle on the chain link backstop. Late September. Dry leaves rattle on the chain link backstop. Finally, one from good old Jack Kerouac, who I wouldn't say was ever the best haiku writer in English, but he was an important one. He did a lot of work to popularize the form in the United States. And I will put the text of this on the screen. I've been trying to do that more. And definitely he uses a lot of punctuation. And so pay attention to that when you see it on the screen. How cold, late September baseball, the crickets. How cold? Late September baseball, the crickets. So that is my brief rundown. Again, there are not as many terms and perhaps not as many poems because baseball is winding down for the year. But certainly with the way that the Major League season extends, we're still playing. We're still in the broader baseball season, which transcends the calendar seasons. And even when the season is winding down, for those of us who maybe play more just amateurly, it's still in our hearts. All right. Let me know if you have any baseball autumn Kigo that I might have missed. Drop those in the comments. And there'll be one more video in this series, and it will be on winter.